There is a rumor that we're going to get a Star Wars What If. I think this is a bad idea, but I do have some bad ideas about this. Welcome to Star Wars Uplink. In the Marvelverse, we have this idea called Marvel What If. It's a series of animated shorts that go into topics and ideas in the Marvel universe that don't get explored through the regular MCU events. A lot of the times it has the original voice actors that are voicing those roles as well, and they use various different types of animation styles for those. There is a rumor that we're going to get a Star Wars version of this, and of course this is the Star Wars part of the internet, so of course there are some issues with it. On one side, people hate it, and on the other side, people are very excited about it. And personally, I think it would be fun, but I do think it's a bad idea, mostly because of the discourse around this topic would be, oh, this is so much better than Disney, blah, 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 Star Wars, blah, blah. Or, on the other hand, they just be like, I love canon so much more than this. Why are they wasting their time doing this when they can do something inside of canon? Those are the two reigning sides on this war against Star Wars What If.
Okay. Now, just to clarify for my own personal reasons, is the What If still semi-canon events? It's just fleshing out things, or is it more like
alternate versions?
Oh, so
Yes.
It could just be anything. This is pretty much fanfic territory.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not quite Star Wars Visions in terms of completely going off the rails of the crazy train, but it is more like Star Wars Visions. So in the Marvel terms, at least, if they follow the Marvel strategies for this, it would be a similar style of animation throughout each of these, more experimental, that visually separates it from what we would see in Tales of the Jedi or the Clone Wars, which are canon pieces of media.
Right.
One of the ideas that I had that I've fleshed out in a short on this channel before is, what if Kylo Ren survived?
Huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that would be something that has happened in canon. What would it look like for the opposite of that to happen?
Right. Okay.
What if Anakin never turned to the dark side?
Right. What if Padme said yes to Anakin and joined him?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of my ideas for this, as I was thinking about what kind of topics would I like to see? All of them pretty much are, what if this person went to the dark side? I'm just so starved for some good dark side focused stories that I'm just
True.
Immediately drawn to those. And I'm a rebel boy. I'm a rebel sympathizer. I'm all about go rebellion. But when it comes to Star Wars What If, I'm what would it look like if Luke Skywalker actually turned to the dark side? I think that would be awesome. Or what if Rey turned to the dark side?
Right.
I would love to see that. We got a glimpse of it in The Rise of Skywalker, and they never went down that path.
Yeah, that was just a glimpse.
I would have loved to see what would happen. What would a true heir to Palpatine look like?
Yeah.
What if Palpatine ever lived again?
What? Wait, what time? The first, third, second?
But what would you like to see?
Okay, hear me out. But what if Darth Jar Jar?
That would fulfill some fan theories,
Right?
For sure. The problem with that is it would also ruin some theories, because by showing it in a what if, they would remove it entirely as being a possibility, which might be
Fair.
something that they want.
Right.
If they're hey, this is all non-canon stories, and the first thing we have is Star Wars What If Darth Jar Jar. No, my fan theory all along.
Yeah. Hey. Or what if Anakin's mom didn't die? What kind of character
What if
development
Padme and Anakin lived happily ever after?
Whoa.
I would actually love to see that.
What if Anakin actually told Obi Wan, "Hey, I've actually got a wife."
I got a side fling over here.
Yeah.
A little on the down low.
What if Obi Wan and Satine actually got together? Oh no, all my romantic couplings are coming together.
But this opens up the problem with Star Wars What If, is a lot of it is character based, and a lot of it is the ideas that were not as fleshed out, and by pointing them out, it kind of points out the flaws in the original canon almost. So maybe not necessarily what ifs. I would more than likely like to see more of Tales from the Jedi, honestly. Honestly,
Yeah.
if this was done well, I would want it to be canon. But then there's the whole idea. There's the whole idea of canon. And Eckhart's Ladder did a great video on this of like basically saying, oh, this fake wizard story is not as real as this other fake wizard story. Like that's honestly what we're arguing about. And if you really think about it, the true canon is only what George Lucas was involved with. Everything else is fan fiction. Everything else is just like tacking onto the original story of this creator of George Lucas. So there's a lot of the different things in terms of that idea of canon. But Visions was awesome. I love the idea of Visions. So if they could pull something off as unique as Visions and give the characters the moment to shine and something like that, I'm more than happy to see some more of these stories. But again, a lot of mine are like, what if this character that we know and love was evil?
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like that would be a lot of it. Or another struggle would be, what if this one character was actually canon? What if Starkiller was actually canon? I think that could be interesting. Telling these stories of characters that we know for certain won't be in canon, but in this new format could be interesting.
Yeah.
They could almost do what like DC is doing with their DCU. Like they've got the Elseworld stories, which the Batman is in and the Penguin show is in. So they've got like this, the overarching video games, movies, comics, or whatever that they have, books, animated things that are in the DCU. Those are like the core truth. But on the other side, they have almost this sub-universe, which is like the Joker and the Batman and anything else that Matt Reeves does, or anything else like these sub-stories that don't necessarily fit into the DCU.
Right, but still pull from those stories.
Inspire, or they pull from like the original source material of the comics or whatever. I think that could be interesting. Going back into Legends of like, what if Abeloth, or I don't know, like it really is an interesting idea.
I always get nervous whenever Marvel starts like encroaching on Star Wars. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think Marvel should just do its own thing, and Star Wars should just do its own thing, and we should all just like have our own ideas and keep them separate. So that's my biggest like, ugh, maybe let's not do this.
Yeah. I can totally see that. I do have a gut reaction as well of like, no Marvel. Please stop.
No.
Do not make Star Wars Marvel. It does not need to be Marvel. It never will be Marvel. And it shouldn't be Marvel. You already have Marvel. Don't try to make another Marvel. Do something different. Capture a different audience. Do something different than Marvel.
Please.
That would be great. But let us know your thoughts. What Star Wars what ifs would you like to see? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, check out our podcast, and may the Force be with you.